I really can't understand this. I mean, it's a personal choice, but I started playing drums when I was in 4th grade, and all through school, I marching band and band snare drum contest, and I started playing the drum set when I was in 7th grade, and I still have a set, and I still play, and I don't understand that people take piano lessons for 7 years and decide, I don't want to do this anymore. God, you put in that kind of time, and you're playing a musical instrument. They have their trumpet. They haven't pulled their trumpet out of the closet for 9 years. It's like, God, what is it? I mean, you've learned how to play it. Keep your chops up in some sort of way. I don't know.
I guess you just lose interest in all because from what I'm gathering, though I've never done it, things like piano, hard. You got to keep it going.
Especially piano, not to want to play anymore after you've taken lessons for 5 years. I guess because I envy a piano player. I've always wanted to play. I've never taken the time to learn. I don't have the patience for it, or I haven't. Maybe, hopefully in the future, but I don't understand it. I mean, you played glockenspiel for how many years? 14 years of glockenspiel. And where's your glockenspiel right now? Closet. Collecting dust on that glockenspiel.
And I feel guilty about it.
Did you learn how to play an instrument, Kelly?
I was second chair clarinet. Never could get past that Steve Anderson. I remember his name.
Steve had big lips, didn't he?
He had big lips, red hair, freckles, and just straight A's and
horn rim glasses.
No glasses.
Oh, Larry Shoemaker. You just described Larry Shoemaker, except for the glasses. He was first string licorice stick player. Clarinet.
What did they call it?
Yeah, the old licorice stick.
I didn't know that.
That's why you were second chair.
I can still. I guess
you would have made first if you would have known the nickname.
I can still taste that reed, though. Licking that thing, getting that ready.
So you gave it up, or do you still have a clarinet?
I gave it up too.
You should bring it to the Christmas show. Play us a little Christmas song.
I wouldn't know what to do. My good friend's daughter is taking up the flute, and she has caught on. They say quicker than the teacher says it, than anyone they've ever seen.
Really?
I mean, because that's tough to get that right breath there, and boy, she's knocking it out. That's a hard one.
It is a hard one, but when you can get a talented flautist, I could listen to that forever. It's such a beautiful instrument when you learn how to play it.
I was in band in junior high, and the band leader was Mr. Gooch. And I didn't really take time at that moment to really realize how difficult his job was. He taught lessons to everybody in private lessons if you paid for them, to everybody. He was an excellent drummer, tuba player. He could play them all. Most
band teachers in school are.
That's really unbelievable.
They can play all the instruments,
And he would always, every private lesson I ever had, he had that cigarette hanging out of his mouth as he would show me the next exercise that we were going to be doing.
In the school?
Oh, yeah.
Smoking in the school in the band room?
Right there in the band room.
Wow.
And I got in a fight with Jerry Spears. It's the only official fight that I was ever really in. It was the big thing where after school, we met outside, we got in a fight, crowd of kids around. Gene Gooch broke it up. Mr. Gooch, band teacher, broke it up. And one teacher took Jerry to the office. Gene Gooch said, I'll deal with Mark, my band leader. He takes me to the band room, and I'm expecting a paddling. And he simply said, he got me in there. He put my jacket back in shape, and he goes, did you get a couple in? That was it.
Nice. Mr. Gooch turned out to be a pretty cool guy.
Which I didn't. Jerry just beat the hell out of me.
Mr. Gooch was never real tense, of course, because the cigarettes relaxed him. I still am blown away by, and you're 4 years older than I or something, but maybe it was a Southern thing, because it could never happen where I went to school, but the teachers could take you out into a special room or a shed or something and whip you with a piece of wood.
Yep.
I'd never heard of that until you described it.
Oh, yeah. First grade, second grade, it would be just right there in front of the room. The teacher would just bring you up in front of the class and paddle you.
Right.
Then, and I specifically remember it because I had a paddling coming in the third grade, the teacher made me stand in front of the class. She said, I'll be right back. Don't you move. She had to go next door and get the next door teacher to come and witness it. Apparently somebody had gotten in trouble, abusive, went too far, and they had to have witnesses to the ass whooping.
So it was a wooden paddle?
Yep.
Okay.
Each teacher had a different thing. What was really embarrassing was that some teachers would have you sign the paddle after you'd been, because the paddle would be covered in signatures of kids that had gotten whopped by it.
This is wild to me.
Some would have holes in the end of it for the extra whelping.
It's called corporal punishment? Corporal punishment. And did they make you bend over like a table or something? Or
Some did. Some did.
They all had their own style.
I can remember specifically assuming the position on the desk.
Which is feet apart, leaned up against one
Hands
of
on the desk and butt out.
Man.
How many whaps?
Would depend on the infraction.
Okay.
Usually your standard with the go-to would be 3. You know.
Now, I'm sure if we went back to, what town in Alabama? Florence, they wouldn't be doing that anymore?
I would think not. I would think that, but you know what? There's a lot of things going on all over the United States that we'd like to think don't take place.
But I kind of like it. I like it. Why don't we incorporate that in our program?
Well, you know what?
Next time Priva gets all pissy because of our callers, we'll just bring her in here and make her assume the position.
Hey, wow.
Oh, yeah. And I don't think, you could use paddle if you want, but on Priva, I think I'll just use my hand. Naughty girl.
Now, I'm not a Catholic. Frankie raised Catholic, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, the paddling is a fairly standard procedure in the Catholic school system, is it not?
Now, I don't know. Then, when I was growing up, absolutely.
You heard a lot about the yardstick ruler across the knuckles. Mm-hmm. Is that what they used?
They had actually a paddle hanging on the wall, I think, for intimidation.
Oh, my God.
Right there behind Sister Patrick Murray. And if you stepped out of line, you pants down, whap
Pants
right there.
down?
Oh, yeah.
Got it coming.
Right in front of everybody. It was the most humiliating thing.
Pants down?
Pants down.
Did you have to take your pants down?
I don't remember that.
I don't know, Mr. Gooch. Mr. Gooch seemed awfully attached to you. Hey, Mark, you're a good-looking boy. Sorry, I'm going to have to do this. It'll hurt me more than... Ooh, look at that.
Hey, check it out.
Underwear is still on, though, I gotta assume.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Still. Are you kidding me? Pulling down your pants in front of the class?
Horrible.
And a nun would whip you?
Sure. She got pleasure out of it, too, I'm sure. But we got even with her.
What'd you do?
We used to, like, when she wasn't looking, we'd grab her veil and yank on her from behind, and she'd go down, and then by the time, she got up, she wouldn't know who did it. So.
You deserved a whipping.
Our teachers you can't strike a student. But we had our junior high school principal, who was also our, I think, history teacher, Mr. Crapnell. Mr. Crapnell.
Oh, no.
Wow. What a great name.
Yeah, Mr. Crapnell. Mr. Crapnell had a body and a shaved head like a middle linebacker in a 1960s football team, like a Ray Nitschke kind of looking guy. He was mean looking. He was very strict. He was deaf.
God.
So, he'd call your name, or you'd ask him a question. He'd go, "What's that?" And he'd get mad at you because you're screaming across the room. But he had what was called, because he couldn't whip anybody like you guys, but he had what was called the crapnel claw. We called it the crapnel claw. If you were walking a little too briskly down the hallway, and I don't know, he was omnipresent. He was everywhere. I don't know how he got behind me. But he would, almost like the Vulcan death grip, he would just put his hand on your shoulder. And he'd kind of lean towards you and go, you're not supposed to be running. And as he's doing it, he's squeezing your shoulder. Just white-knuckling your shoulder. It's like, Brian got the crabnel claw. Crabnel claw.
That's good.
God.
I like the fact he's omnipresent. He's everywhere.
He's everywhere. I don't know. Where did you come from? Hi, Mr. Crapnell.
I love that name. Crapnel.
Mr. Crapnel.
Oh, that's unfortunate.